I tie my laces and walk adjacent to Father's patience. Right next to Satan, the sin lies that come me Raymond. Can't grow complacent, my heart is racing, the Lord is waiting. I follow in his footsteps, it's not complicated. I've been living in this hell, so I gotta make it. This could be my only chance, so I gotta take it. So I gotta take it. This could be my only chance, so Brothers been tripping for too long, so I've been walking face up through the mud with my boots on. And I'll be damned if I do wrong. I just hate when the news on, cause all I'm seeing is depression and oppression all up in their face. And they wanna give up on a day by day. Just know the Lord, he is making a way. So if you keeping the faith, hold your head high, it's gonna be okay. And I don't even feel no more. My people getting killed, it's getting really real. And they don't wanna live on, no. It's cause of the sin, why we always gotta die on the block. Why sisters always gotta cry on the block. And mama feel the pain when I walk, how I walk. If she hates how I talk, why you talk like that?
Burn clothes in my two socks. See the block is getting too high. Time's running low, need a new watch. They fell for the do-out. That thing. I really wish you knew that you all been through all these extreme things. I'm trying to figure out what happened to you and me, things. Trying to figure out what happened to unity, man. I'm flipping on the nose and hear the blues when I see things. I see hatred all around. Fighters and murders with a frown. My brother in a puddle on the ground, like what the hell we gon' do now? When everything is going south, remember who you are, pick up your crown. My people feel no more. Feel no pain when they kill no more. Do you feel how I feel when I'm feeling so no.
And I don't even feel no more. My people getting killed, it's getting really real. And they don't wanna live on, no. It's cause of the sin, why we always gotta die on the block. Why sisters always gotta cry on the block. And mama feel the pain when I walk, how I walk. And she hates how I talk, why you talk like that?
Feel no more. Feel no more. Feel no more. Feel no more.
I feel no more.
I tie my laces and walk adjacent to Father's patience. Right next to Satan, the sin lies that come me Raymond. Can't grow complacent, my heart is racing, the Lord is waiting. I follow in his footsteps, it's not complicated. I've been living in this hell, so I gotta make it. This could be my only chance, so I gotta take it. So I gotta take it. This could be my only chance, so Brothers been tripping for too long, so I've been walking face up through the mud with my boots on. And I'll be damned if I do wrong. I just hate when the news on, cause all I'm seeing is depression and oppression all up in their face. And they wanna give up on a day by day. Just know the Lord, he is making a way. So if you keeping the faith, hold your head high, it's gonna be okay. And I don't even feel no more. My people getting killed, it's getting really real. And they don't wanna live on, no. It's cause of the sin, why we always gotta die on the block. Why sisters always gotta cry on the block. And mama feel the pain when I walk, how I walk. And she hates how I talk, why you talk like that?
Burn clothes in my two socks. See the block is getting too high. Time's running low, need a new watch. They fell for the do-out. That thing. I really wish you knew that you all been through all these extreme things. I'm trying to figure out what happened to you and me, things. Trying to figure out what happened to unity, man. I'm flipping on the nose and hear the blues when I see things. I see hatred all around. Fighters and murders with a frown. My brother in a puddle on the ground, like what the hell we gon' do now? When everything is going south, remember who you are, pick up your crown. My people feel no more. Feel no pain when they kill no more. Do you feel how I feel when I'm feeling so no?
I don't even feel no more. My people getting killed, it's getting really real, and they don't wanna live, oh no, no, no. It's cause of the sin, why we always gotta die on the block. Why sisters always gotta cry on the block. And mama feel the pain when I walk, how I walk. And she hates how I talk, why you talk like that, like that. Feel no more. Feel no more. Feel no more. Feel no more.
I feel no more.
I tie my laces and walk adjacent to Father's patience. Right next to Satan, the sin lies, they come me Raymond. Can't grow complacent, my heart is racing, the Lord is waiting. I follow in his footsteps, it's not complicated. I've been living in this hell, so I gotta make it. This could be my only chance, so I gotta take it. So I gotta take it. This could be my only chance, so Brothers been tripping for too long.
We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus 5:1.
Christ. Yeah, that's right. I said Christ. I see Christ in you. You're my brother.
You are now tuned in to Truth Be Told.
I seem on my bros to be better than me. Truth be told.
You are now tuned in to Truth Be
This is
Told.
what we must do to avoid envy. Truth be told. Truth be told. And blacks and Hispanics are family. Truth be told. Truth be told. I just pray you see Christ when you see me. Truth be told. Truth
Watch
be
this.
told.
These men spoke wisdom because they understood the scriptures. Read.
Our people in that stronghold, and again, that's why our communities are in the shape that they're in because of sin.
Yeah, when
That's
people
an
bring
example
up
of sin.
Christ is black, people say color don't matter, but yet they ride into the movie theaters on elephants with kente claws because of a black superhero, but the color of Christ
All
don't matter.
scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness.
That hidden ones because our people don't know that we're the Israelites according to the Bible.
See that? So once you apply all of this, that's what's gonna make you perfect. So you can be perfect.
You're now tuned in to Truth Be Told.
Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. You are now tuning into Truth Be Told, DC. Broadcasting live. Be sure to tune in every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to hear the truth according to the Bible. Hosted by Iuic, DC. For music, clothing, and instruments of learning, visit originalroyalty.com and israelunite.org. Shalom.
Shalom, fam. Welcome back to Truth Be Told DC. I'm Officer Matthew, and to my left,
Officer Phineas.
Officer Mendel.
to my right,
Officer Micah.
So today's show title is Currency Collapse and the Fall of the Man of Sin. There's a whole lot of stuff going on out there. Before we get into it, Officer, let's get that headline pulled up from CNN real quick. Look what's going on. Just get the headline up. How I sound? We coming in? Yeah, check that. Let's do a sound check, fellas. Look at that. No, I went up at the top. Nah, I posted the latest one I posted. It should have been like a state of emergency or something like that. They posted. Boom. State of emergency. Look at that. The fall of the man of sin. So before we get into it, we just want to show that headline is just to show that biblical prophecies are most indeed coming to pass. So before we get into the show, let's go ahead and open up with John chapter 8, verse 32. We just wanted to set the tone with that real quick. Because a lot of our people just still sleep thinking the white man going to keep running things. That's not what the scriptures say. Let's go and get that.
The book of John chapter 8 and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
So the truth is, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans make up the 12 tribes of Israel. And you are called to repentance in the last days. And headlines like that let you know we in the last days. They got a war going over there in Israel right now. All stuff falling apart everywhere. And the man of sin being revealed.
Hey, and you want to know what? When I see these things, you got to think. Because, we out there teaching the truth to the four corners.
Right.
And Amalek don't like that thing.
Absolutely not.
So the Most High turned it up on him. He said, okay, you going to mess with my prophets? I'm going to turn it up on you.
Right now, he don't have time to focus on us. He got to go over there and deal with them with Ishmael and being a wild man. So let's go and get that. Get me that in Jeremiah.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 12. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon.
Do what?
Set up the standard.
That's the Bible. We setting up all this calamity going on. The prophets of the Most High God. We standing with the Bible. That is the standard. Read.
Upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong.
Hold on. Do what?
Make the watch strong.
Meaning us as watchmen, we got to build ourselves up, give warning to the people. We got to strengthen ourselves in these times. Read.
Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes. For the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon.
Right. Look, there's some straight snares and up out here. Bishop brought it out. The angels getting activated. Soon as class pop off, all kinds of crazy calamity coming out. You want to say something, officer?
Yeah, I was going to say, this is talking about Babylon the Great here, America.
Right.
So don't think this is talking about Babylon wave. I mean, it was talking about that too, but this is twofold, right?
Right,
it's
yeah.
talking about Babylon that's going on right now.
Right, all
the
praises.
same thing is happening right now.
Yep, all praise. Yeah, because I'm thinking everybody don't know. This ain't talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about today.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 62 and verse 10. Go through the gates.
Hold on, do what?
Go through the gates.
Right. Read.
Prepare ye the way of the people.
So we supposed to do what?
Prepare ye the way of the people.
What? Prepare the way for the people to repent. That's what that's talking about. Read.
Cast up the highway. Gather out the stones. Lift up a standard for the people.
That's what we got to do. Not lift up Cardi B. Who else is out there? Some dumb mess, mumble rap or whatever they got going on out there. Do what for the people?
Cast up the highway. Gather out the stones. Lift up a standard for the people.
The standard is the Bible. We want to go ahead, officer.
I was going to say, a lot of our people lift up the white man. They
right.
looking for him to fix everything. Or we going back to normal.
Right.
You don't understand, this whole thing is going worse and worse. It ain't going. He not going to be able to fix it because this is the end of his empire. His empire is done.
Right. And here's the proof. Let's go back to Jeremiah 51. We're going to start at 13. Here's the proof that it's not talking about ancient Babylon right here. Yep, start at 13.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 13. O thou that dwellest upon many waters.
What is that talking about? This place, Babylon the Great, has a military base on every land on the planet. Read.
abundant in treasures.
Because all from the stolen slave labor.
Thine end is come.
You seen it on the news. It's straight, especially even since this dude got in the office. It's been total calamity in the country, man. The vile person getting exposed. Read.
And the measure of thy covetousness.
The what?
And the measure of thy covetousness.
Right. Total covetousness here. Stole a land, put the covetous spirit on the people of the land. Read.
The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars.
That's going into all types of terrorist activities and all that. Hell, even these self-destructive liberals out here with these ridiculous policies tearing down their own empire. Read.
And they shall lift up a shout against thee.
Right, that's what's going on now. Everybody stand up. It's all kinds of political groups, all kinds of people standing up, all kinds of calamity. Go ahead, officer.
I was say that one shout that Ishmael do, Allah Akbar, when they hit that, when they blow themselves up. They'll hit you with that shout. That's talking about one of them right there. Go ahead and run the video, though. We're going to show the shout that came up right now. What's happening right now?
Live from the station that's in your corner. You're watching Fox 4 News at 10.
Thank you for sticking around for Fox 4 News at 10 this Saturday. I'm Jessica Alpern. Tonight, we're learning more about a cyber attack on the Colonial Pipeline, a supplier for most of the country's oil and gas. This includes right here in Florida. So Fox 4's Leslie Delisboard talked with experts to find out how this attack will impact us here.
5,500 miles of energy infrastructure to carry that gasoline is right now on pause.
A pause that comes after the U.S. fuel pipeline operator Colonial Pipeline shut down its entire network after a cyber attack that occurred on Friday.
One of the top U.S. oil and gas corporations responsible for providing the East Coast with gasoline, which gives a lot of the energy to a lot of the environment there in terms of businesses.
Adam Roosevelt, CEO of AR International Consulting, says it's too early to tell who the suspects are, but this type of attack is not uncommon.
Unfortunately, there are organizations that have not updated their policies and procedures for cybersecurity. They may be leveraging what we call legacy technology. So that just simply means that the infrastructure is old. Nation-state actors like in China or in Russia, they target this type of infrastructure specifically to impact the U.S. economic security as well as the national security.
An impact that can leave a huge hole in many of our pocketbooks.
It's way too early to say whether or not there'll be any kind of shortages. The thing that this really does is exacerbates a problem that we're already having, which is actually tanker capacity, getting tankers from places like the Colonial Pipeline and distribution points.
Hey, so I was going to say, that they saying that a foreign country did it. We don't really know who did it, but one thing I do know is that it was a couple years ago, was it 3 or 4 years ago, when Edward Snowden came out and said that the U.S., they have their military and their CIA, they have to leave back doors in all of their softwares.
Right.
So that they can enter in. Even the software that they sell overseas has back doors to get in it, so that when other countries come up with inventions or technology, they can get in and see what's being done and what their inventions are and those type of things. So these countries, they'll go in and use them same back doors to shut down our infrastructure.
Right. Read that again. We about to read about that shout. They shouted and clicked that keyboard and shut your gas off. Read that.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 14. The Lord of hosts has sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars.
Right, we know what caterpillars when they get on something. They just eat the vegetation off the tree. That's what I'm talking about. Slowly eating away. This time they're eating away at the infrastructure via the gas pipeline. Read.
And they shall lift up a shout against thee.
Hit that send button. Cut the junk straight off. So let's keep it moving. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4.
The book of Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Right. So this dude, when he's standing up vertical, his soul's still crooked. Let's let you know this man is the devil, man. Read.
But the just shall live by his faith.
Right. So that's the just. How you know you just or not? By what? Coming back to the standard, man. That's what that's going into. Let's go to Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. Watch this. Because our people out here trusting in this man. Oh, he going to get things back to normal. My man Biden up in there. That's what I'm talking about. Nah, Slim, he done locked up more brothers than anybody. And all this dude, he done rewarded the LGBT. Read that.
More than Obama. Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
What?
Never trust thine enemy.
That's what the scripture say. Esau is the number one enemy against the children of Israel. Read.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
He might be nice for a time, but you leave iron outside for a minute, it's going to oxidize and show its rust. Read.
Though he humble himself.
He doing that. I'm down with the BLM. Matter of fact, I married Serena Williams. Read.
And go crouching. Yet take good heed and beware of him.
Do what?
And beware of him.
You know, you see that sign when you go to the junkyard, it's beware of dog. That's letting you know it's danger around. That's what it's telling you. You're around this man, it's a dangerous thing. Read.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
Right, when you're looking at that man through the Bible, you can be like, man, this dude evil as hell. Because that's what's going to give you the clarity to see, and that's what's going to expose and is exposing a man of sin. So let's keep it moving. Let's go to Job. Yeah. Let's get that. So it's a lot of things going on, but guess what? The providence of the Most High God lifting up the standard. And this is for the stability in these times, man. Read that.
The book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 12. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth.
Damn, he loves speaking nothing but wickedness. Do you see the media, what they pushing? LGBT, pedophilia, strong black women.
The pleasures of sex.
The pleasures of sex.
To children.
To kids. Effeminate black men. That's all wickedness, man. Read.
Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth. Though he hide it under his tongue.
Man, he come with the soft tone, man. A lot of people getting mesmerized on Sundays. That's what that's talking about. Rocking you straight to sleep. Full Matrix mode, man. Is that it on that? Yeah, jump, yeah.
Verse 15. He hath swallowed down riches.
He done what?
He hath swallowed down riches.
Right, he done swallowed down our riches. That's why every time you paycheck to paycheck, read.
And he shall vomit them up again.
And that's what's going on. He going to come up off them riches, our gold and silver. Read.
God shall cast them out of his belly.
Right. So that's going into the more the fall of that. He hoarding up the Most High's treasures. He coming up off all that. You just holding that, man. What's going on with? Nah, we going back to Habakkuk, man. Yeah, 2 and 5. So, but yeah, all these things going on. This not the time to panic. That's why it's time to come back to the standard. All these things must come to pass. Read that.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine.
Right, with his lies. That's in his media right now. That's all his lies in his media, churches, school system, everywhere. Read.
He is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home.
Hey, what?
Neither keepeth at home.
Got his military, his boots on the ground everywhere. And also with his ungodly policies. Read.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell.
So whatever he want, he go there. He wants your land. He turning that thing into hell.
And is as death.
What?
And is as death.
Everywhere he presides is death and hell. Read.
And cannot be satisfied.
He can't be satisfied. You can never give him enough. Go ahead.
Gathereth unto him all nations.
What?
But gathereth unto him all nations.
What's the name of this place? What's another name? The Great Melting Pot. Read.
And heapeth unto him all people.
Nah, that's it. Let's go to Obadiah. Let's get that Obadiah.
The book of Obadiah, verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night.
Because that's how a thief gonna come. It's by night.
How art thou cut off?
Meaning what? How does a thief stop stealing?
Would they not have stolen till they had enough?
A normal thief steals until he's got enough. He like, you know what? I don't need any more. I'm good to go. Not this man. He steal the land, the people on it.
The heritage.
Then turn around and talk about he the last Mohican. Read.
If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
Right.
How are the things of Esau searched out?
Right. He got everything searched out. He want to know. He get every last bit of your tax dollar. Read.
How are his hidden things sought up?
Mm-hmm.
All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
So that's what's going on now. It's a nation state actors, a cyber attack on America's infrastructure. That's probably from one of their allies.
Hey, didn't they say Russia's Esau?
Right.
That's what they saying did it. They said
and China.
Russia, so
they said China
Edomite.
too.
The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. And prevailed against thee.
Now that's what's going to take place next.
They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
Right, because when you roll in that prideful nature, you not even seeing the traps coming, man. Read.
There is none understanding in him.
Right. Case in point, you're supposed to be the most advanced country, but somebody come in on the keyboard and take down a major pipeline. Come on, man. Let's roll this. Let's go back to Habakkuk. Read that real quick. Did you read 9 to 6 already? Okay, yeah, roll a video. Roll this other video.
We have a consumer alert for you on this Monday, as the national average for the price of gas is once again above $3 a gallon. Now, a cyber attack on the nation's largest fuel line could actually send your gas prices skyrocketing. Our very own Beth Rousseau explains right now how the security breach could affect what you're paying at the pump. Good morning to you, Beth.
Good morning, David. And I don't know if you've noticed it. I certainly have. These gas prices, they're more than $1 higher than what they were at this time last year. Now, because of these cybersecurity attacks, it could mean that you're going to see an even bigger jump at the pump in coming weeks.
This is one of my worst nightmares come to light.
Cyber attackers used ransomware, and what they did is they inserted it into Colonial Pipeline systems and then started demanding money. So this is a 5,500-mile system, the nation's largest. It's been shut down since Friday as they deal with this threat. Now, AAA says that here in Tampa, prices for gas should stay pretty steady because we aren't largely reliant on this system. They say it could change, though, based on needs in other areas of the country as they work to get this system back online, which, as I'm sure you can imagine, is a top priority.
It's a top priority for the administration. Unfortunately, these sorts of attacks are becoming more frequent.
We're about to show you the real world impact. Watch this, though. Look at this. Let's play this video. This is how serious it's getting. And these contracts are going to happen close and close. There's going to be some other stuff coming up here in the future. Watch this. She putting gas in a grocery bag.
Real genius right there.
All right, that's it. So people bagging up gas, man. Hey, go back there to Habakkuk, man. Read that 6 down to 8.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him?
Right. All these nations getting fed up with American policy and their intervention and interfering in elections and all that. They're going to take up a parable. Read.
And a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Right. You keep forcing your culture and your policies on us, man.
How long?
What?
How long?
Uh-huh.
And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
Right. He got all his peoples around him. Read. His media and all that. Read.
Shall they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake, that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them.
Damn, you got ransomware all over the place. Somebody got the DC police ransom. They got them for ransom. They released some files. They had Baltimore City shut down some months back. That's what's going on. Read verse 8.
Verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein.
Read verse 9 for him.
Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness.
You see that it says destruction under this evil covetousness, which is what?
to his house, that he may set his nest on high.
By what? Stepping on the backs of the people that built the country.
That he may be delivered from the power of evil.
Right, but he not getting away with none of that. Go ahead, officer.
All right, I'm going to start with, because everything is going crazy out here. People got to be prepared. We got to make sure we got the chief things. Get that in Sirach 29 and 21. Because these are things that we got to, people getting caught up on Jordans, PlayStation 5s, and newest iPhones and this and that. But let's see what the scriptures say. Read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 29 and verse 21. The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and a house to cover shame.
So these are the chief things that you need to survive in life. So, people getting caught up on the latest Jordans. Look, we getting into serious times, man. You ain't got time to be worrying about the last pair of Jordans or the iPhones. Things is getting crazy out here. Let's go to, I want to get something on the side. Let's go to Proverbs 6 and 6 real quick. Let's get that. We got the Most High gave us instructions here. Let's see what he says right here in Proverbs 6.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise.
You got to think about it. That's heavy right there. An ant. A little teeny ant. You just think about the brain size of an ant. It's telling you to watch that little insect with that small brain to get wisdom. It's going to show you why. Read.
Which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer.
So what does that mean? So while the weather's good or while times are good, they storing up and gathering. They not just wastefully out there doing whatever, partying and stuff like that. You out there, you spend $500 on a PlayStation and you ain't got a can of beans in your cabinet. So if things get tough like they head to, you know what I mean? You can't even make a move. Read.
Gonna be eating plastic.
Yeah.
And gathereth her food in the harvest.
You see that? So gather her food in the harvest, meaning that it's a plentiful time. It's harvest, meaning why you can get. So now we got the gas that's going up. Now say if you can't get to work, what's your backup plan? You understand? That's what you got to think about. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. That's why the Most High give us these instructions.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 38. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in.
So what is that going into? Because we're seeing that starting to happen right now with this inflation. You getting the money that you made, even if you had a good job, you're like, man, I'm doing all right. Now your food price is going up, your gas price is going up. So read that again.
Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it.
So the locusts, that's talking about literal locusts, but now it's talking about Esau, him and his banking system, where he devalued his currency. So now you got less purchasing power. You can't get the stuff that you used to get for the same amount of money. Let's go to, we're going on to 39. Read.
39. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them.
So that's going into what? All the work that you're doing is going to come to naught. Let's jump down to 43 and 44.
Verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
And a lot of times we can see this in our own communities. Like we go out on the streets and we teach, and our neighborhoods is predominantly Jake, but we don't own any of the businesses or nothing like that. You got the Chinese man coming in, you got the Arab man. None of them live in the area, nothing. And they driving fancy cars and they take your money and roll out of the neighborhoods. Read.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
So letting you know that what? When it comes to getting money for houses, cars, and all these different things, they lending to us. And guess what? When they lend you, a lot of times they're giving us the highest interest rates. And you got to jump through all these hoops to get a loan, where Esau, they don't have to jump through the hoops. Go ahead and read verse 48.
Officer, real quick. You know what's crazy? Even that movie that got not Black Ball, what's the word? It didn't get to go in the theaters. The one with Samuel Jackson and the other guy, Captain Falcon. Even when they had the money to loan people out money, they still couldn't even do it. They had to have a white man be the front face for them. So even the small percentages of people who can do that, it's still not allowed in America. It don't matter how much money you got, you still on the bottom, regardless.
Right, real quick, I was reading an article about the virtual racism, talking about how they got things put in place, facial recognition, 40% off. Also that blacks have paid higher interest than their white counterparts for their house and all that. So that's part of the curses.
Yeah, it was a sister tried to sell a house, and I think they undervalued her by like over $200,000. She changed the pictures in the house, put up a white family. That joint skyrocketed, and she got like 200% more, just because they have black pictures in the house.
Yeah, these are kind of tricks they play, man. And you know, that's us being under the curses. That's what we're going over right now.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness.
So we didn't want to keep the commandments with joyfulness, read.
And with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things.
Meaning that what? The Most High would have gave us everything if we just did what we were supposed to do. So now guess what happens? Read,
therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Read.
In hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
So everything that we need, we got to go to our enemies for. So he sells us these products. He gives you a currency to use that he's devaluing. So he's stealing from you the whole time. You understand that? Like a lot of people don't. When we get into this video, read the last part.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Okay, so now we're going to run this video. This video is a cartoon, but it does a real good job of breaking down what you're seeing happening right now before your very eyes. Go ahead and run it.
Didn't print. So they print the money, then they loan it to the government, then they charge the government interest, then the government taxes you to pay for it. Wake up, pal! God, I don't see what the big deal is. You know, you're right, pal. Wait a minute. Wait, I am? Yeah. I forget how effective they are at keeping you ignorant. Well, that's okay. Hey, I'm not ignorant. Do you even know what money is, pal? In the long, long ago, people bartered. They traded things they had for things they wanted. I'll trade you my raspberries for that there pot pie. I don't want your berries. Come on. Wow, those sweet berries. They're not sweet. They're old, and I don't like berries. Give me that pot pie! No. As you can see, this bartering situation created some problems. Then one day, a goldsmith walked up and said,
now, everybody thinks gold is valuable, so why doesn't everybody trade gold for things they need?
A price was set for gold, and now it was very easy to conduct commerce because people could trade gold for all the things they needed.
Hartman! Wow, look at all my gold! Hey, stop them! That's my gold!
Damn thieves!
Say there, Pyle. I've got a vault and some guards. I can keep your gold safe for you. For a small fee.
Yeah, sure, that'd be awesome. You see, Pyle, this is how the first bank made money.
There you go, Pyle. I owe you 100 gold coins.
Okay, great.
Come back anytime and redeem your gold when you want it. It'll be right here in my vault.
Now you're holding the very first paper money, Pyle.
Wow, this is great. It all makes sense.
Oh, that's right. It was good. And everybody started using IOUs because everybody knew the IOU was as good as gold.
Wow, this candy is really a good price. 1 IOU. I'm getting some more for later. Hey, wait a minute. It was just 1 IOU. 10 IOUs for chocolate? You can't just raise prices like that.
Oh, the Candyman can.
Oh, the Candyman can. Wait, that is just frickin' wrong.
It's called inflation, Pyle. It makes your IOUs worth less and less until they are worth nothing. Less bang for the buck. Dollar ain't what it used to be.
But I worked hard and I baked all those pot pies. Now I have to work harder to make less? That's not fair.
Oh, if you think that's not fair, you're gonna love the next part.
What's he doing?
How do banks make money, Pyle?
By making more loans?
Oh, that's right. He's good. See, he prints more IOUs without any more gold, loans them out for interest, makes a pretty penny, and nobody is the wiser. Unless everybody wanted their gold back at the same time.
No. That's my gold.
Not anymore.
What are you talking about?
I'd like to redeem my IOUs, please. Thank you very much.
Hey! I want my gold back now! Thief!
I love the bank run, bringing people together. See, they all found out he was stealing, made a run on the bank, and demanded their gold, but as you can see, there ain't no gold to get. Herdman! Don't worry, pal. Back in these times, vengeance will be yours. 3 things in this world you don't do. Never mess with another man's woman. Never mess with another man's ego. And most importantly, you never mess with another man's money. Else, the man will mess with you.
My God! You hung him?
Yes, pal. Oh, we hung him. We hung him high. And do you know why?
Well, because he was a thief?
Because, pal, an evil invention was born. Man discovered how to turn worthless paper into gold. Thus was invented the ultimate machine to steal real money and enslave all the nations.
Nah, that right there just broke it down. What you see today, like my man working the same job, making less because the price of his the goods that he has to purchase has increased.
That's what's going on today, to really sum it up, because you got all this money being created that's just being handed out to everybody. So now what you're seeing is that money is becoming worth less and less. So the things that you would buy, now they seem like they cost them more, but it's really not that they cost them more. It's that the money is worth less. So that's what you got to see. The money is being devalued right now. You just can't give out trillions of dollars and you don't have no products to back it up.
And the scripture said, if a man don't work, he don't eat. That's what the scripture said. You can't lay up taking Joe Biden stimulus checks the rest of your life.
That's what's going on, because right now they're saying that McDonald's they can't hire people because nobody want to work because they're getting money to sit at home. So in order to give people work, they got to raise the pay that they pay people. In order to raise the pay, they got to raise the price of the hamburger. So the same thing with the trucks and everything else. If you ain't got nobody producing the lumber and stuff that we're going to show the lumber, the picture of the lumber, to show you how much lumber then went up. Because now you don't have people to work at the lumber yard, so now we got a shortage of lumber. So show that so people can understand how they're going to be impacted.
$50,000 worth of lumber. In 2020, 10.5 single-family units, 10 and 1/20th. In 2021, that same $50,000 worth of lumber can only create 2 and 1/10 worth of single-family homes.
So that's inflation. And I like the cartoon broke it down so y'all can understand what's going on there. Go to Matthew 24, because I know we read this a few times, but this is a heavy scripture, and we got to see this is what's going on right now.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled.
We got a war going over there in Israel right now. Read.
For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Read.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places.
And I wanted to focus on the famines, because if you got fuel shortages, that means what? You're going to have problems with trucks getting food to the grocery stores. They got to raise the price on the food because fuel prices going up.
Right, and somebody put a wise comment down there and said, that's why leadership told us prepare. That was a year ago. So the prophets have been speaking. That's why we read, raise up the standard. You know, come back to the scriptures. We got to be a prudent people. So that's why the Most High put the spirit on our leadership to get us prepared as a nation, man.
All these are the beginning of sorrow.
That's letting you know that it's just starting. It ain't going to do nothing but get worse from here. So let's go to Sirach 40 and 1. 40 and 1.
The book of Sirach, chapter 40 and verse 1. Great travail is created for every man, and an heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam, from the day that they go out of their mother's womb, till the day that they return to the mother of all things.
So this is letting you know life ain't going to be easy from the days of Adam. Let's go back to the days of Adam real quick. Go to Genesis 3. Let's find out. So this is what we got to understand. This is a heavy scripture right here. You got a lot of people sitting at the house right now collecting checks, and they ain't even trying to work. They got jobs out there, but they don't want to work.
Hey, Officer Mandel, hey, real quick, my rib told me what a lot of people are doing now is a lot of these remote jobs, they're going to jobs, doing the trainings, quitting, and repeating the cycle over and over and over again. So they're doing these remote jobs where they get paid for, the at-home training, which is basically you do nothing, just reading the guideline. They're quitting those jobs so they can repeat the cycle, and they don't got to work there. And they're still unemployed, so they just keep applying, quitting, applying, quitting. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
So this is the punishment that Eve got for taking of the fruit.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
Read.
And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
So let you know what? That now if you want to eat, you got to work. You got to get out there and work. Read verse 18.
Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat of the herb of the field.
So that's to let you know that it's going to be hard to get food. That ain't going to be an easy thing. But, Esau, he trying to make it easy. You can just sit at home. Keep reading.
In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread.
Now, sitting at home on your PlayStation while you get a stimulus check.
In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread.
Read.
Till thou return unto the ground. For out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return.
So meaning what? We're going to have to work our whole lives. So don't get caught in the trap. Esau's setting the trap right now. Go back to Sirach 40. Let's read verse 1 again, and then we're going to jump down to verse 9.
The book of Sirach, chapter 40 and verse 1. Great travail is created for every man, and an heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam. From the day that they go out of their mother's womb, till the day that they return to the mother of all things.
So letting you know, life is going to be hard. Now let's get some examples. Jump down to verse 9. Let's see what some of these issues are going to be. Read.
Verse 9. Death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine.
You see that? Famines. Letting you know that that's part of life for us. Read.
Tribulation and the scourge.
Tribulation. That's what we read in Matthew 24. Now let's jump to Jeremiah 14. We're going to go through this real quick because, we got time constraints. So we're going to roll with it. 1 through 7. Let's get that.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 1.
This is what happened with our ancestors. And this continually happens to the nation of Israel when we don't keep God's commandments. That's what we got to understand. This is how the Most High gets your attention. Read.
The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah concerning the dearth. Judah mourneth.
The dearth is talking about famine. Read.
And the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
So we read this scripture all the time that that the gates, the leadership, we had poor leadership. They were languishing. Read.
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
Keep reading.
And their nobles have sent their little ones to the waters. They came to the pits and found no water.
See that? So letting you know what? This is one of the chief things in life. You don't have no water. Read.
They returned with their vessels empty. They were ashamed and confounded and covered their heads.
Keep reading.
Because the ground is chapped, for there was no rain in the earth.
That's talking about when the ground is all cracked up because it was so dry that the ground was cracking and breaking apart. Read.
The plowmen were ashamed.
They were ashamed talking about because they didn't have any crops to get up. Keep reading.
They covered their heads.
Read.
Yea, the hind also calved in the field and forsook it because there was no grass.
So the animals couldn't survive because what? They wasn't nothing for them to eat. Read.
And the wild asses did stand in the high place. They snuffed up the wind like dragons. Their eyes did fail because there were no grass.
So the wild asses, they didn't eat either. Read.
O Lord, though our iniquities testify against us.
Hold on. It says, do that. Read that again.
O Lord, though our iniquities testify against us.
So that's letting you know that these things happen to us because of sin. Keep reading.
Do thou it for thy name's sake, for our backslidings are many. We have sinned against thee.
Okay, is that it on that? Is that for? Yeah, that's it. So let's go. Let's run this video right here. We're gonna show you this video, an example of what happened in Jeremiah right here. It's happening to our people right now.
This is Zulia's biggest and popular meat market. Well, it used to be at least. Now it's less about meat and more about hooves, fat, tripe, and bones. Animal offcuts have become the affordable option for Venezuelans priced out by hyperinflation. Anything makes a good soup or stew.
Y jefe, lo veo comprando pellejo. Y todo. Es lo que le alcanza. Antes podía comprar.
Rotten beef is also sold here in this market. It smells strong. It's got flies all over it.
Y la gente come eso, lo compra.
Pero ¿cómo que imagínate que van a hacer? Lo más barato.
Pienso que como está la situación, la gente compra lo que sea ahorita para el consumo. Porque no tiene con qué pagar un kilo de carne, no puede comprar un kilo de pollo, la gente no tiene cómo comprar un kilo de pollo porque el dinero no le abastece.
A kilo of beef costs up to a third of the monthly minimum wage and would provide maybe a couple of meals, but this rotten beef is 1% of a salary. Refrigerators in the market have constant power cuts.
Y si falla la luz 10 veces en el día, aparte de eso se va por 4 horas seguidas. Al otro día cuando tú vas a sacar la mercancía estás en malas condiciones.
It's not just electricity, there's chaos everywhere. Hospitals are also affected by this crisis. Equipment and beds left derelict. There's no money to repair them. No garbage removal means outside hospitals you find huge piles of medical waste, including drips and needles. And piles of rubbish are also a source of food here. For desperate families, anything will do. But this is a province with huge oil reserves. This wealth is almost everywhere. It's under the ground, it's right up to its shores. Many here accuse the government of mismanaging the country's enormous wealth, to which the ruling party is very quickly to reply that it's foreign government and the political opposition who are to blame. But you have to queue for almost everything, from food to cash withdrawals, queues in which you can easily spend the whole day. Public transport is on the verge of collapse. People now take whatever form of transport they can find. And frequent power shortages are often leading to protests. This is a community that's been 5 days without any electricity. In this part of the country, this is not rare. This is happening all the time. Not even those who die escape the crisis. Frequent power cuts mean morgues can't keep bodies refrigerated.
A ver que se me están quedando semanas, se me están quedando 2 o 3 semanas, que se me están pudriendo, que se me llegan a explotar. Ayer metí por cierto una bolsa llena de gusanos, sin guantes, sin mascarilla, una falta de respeto. Immensa ahorita con esos cadáveres ahí. Si les digo a la funeraria qué pasó, si el gobierno no me paga, yo no me puedo llevar los cadáveres. Y tiene toda la razón.
This is a rich nation, but most people here are not rich.
¿Y cómo le afecta la falta de luz acá?
When I met Maria Eugenia, she had been 5 days without any electricity. Her only fridge was connected to a neighbour's generator.
So we've got 2 fridges. This one works, not much in it. This one got damaged in a power cut.
Está dañada. En un apagón que hubo. Se me quemó un aire, después fue la nevera y después fue la bomba.
Maria is about to undergo surgery for breast cancer, and she's had to find and buy everything the doctors need, including needles, drugs, and even the gloves. Hospitals simply don't have them. But she's worried about how she will recover in a house with no air conditioning in 40 degrees heat.
Yo no tengo a dónde ir.
Maria's drama is a Venezuelan drama. Vladimir Hernandez, BBC News, Maracaibo.
So now what you got to understand is Venezuela used to be a wealthy nation, but what happened is they went under socialism, like what they're trying to bring in here. Basically what that is, the government pays people to stay at the house. So once they did that, their currency, they had hyperinflation, everything collapsed. So the same thing, that model is being used in this country. That's what you got to understand, because once you get people on sitting at home taking money from the government, then they got more control over the population. So that's the same strategy they're trying to run here.
And people don't want to get off.
Yeah, people don't want to work. They just sit at the house. So we overread. That's Ecclesiastes talking about that too, but I'm not going to get that. So let's go to Matthew 4:4.
The book of Matthew, chapter 4 and verse 4. And the 4 and 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone.
So we understand that food is one of the chief things, but watch this, read this.
But by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
Because if we keep in God's commandments, he's going to make sure that we got everything that we're supposed to have. Let's go to Acts 28 and 28.
The book of Acts, chapter 28 and verse 28. Be it known therefore unto you, that the salvation of God is sent unto the Gentiles, and that they will hear it.
Read.
And when he had said these words, the Jews departed and had a great reasoning among themselves.
Okay, hold on. That must have been wrong. Well, I don't think I wanted that. Nah, that's not it. That's not what I wanted right there. That's the wrong one. Go to Amos 8 and 11. Hold on, I got the wrong scripture down.
The book of Amos, chapter 8 and verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land.
So we talking about famines in the land, read.
Not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord.
So we got to understand that this word right here feeds your soul. This is what's going to get us through these situations that we finding ourselves in right now, as we see. Read verse 12.
And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east.
Read.
They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it.
You're going to have people out there that's going to be doing that when this stuff get really bad. Lord's will, they can find, they'll find some prophets that can show them what's going on out of the scriptures. But this is letting you know that you got people out there running for gas now. They running for food, but it's gonna come a time where they're gonna be like, "Look, we got to hear a word from the Most High. Things is that bad."
Yeah, let's get 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3.
The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
That falling away was Israel going into captivity. The falling of Israel. Read.
And that man of sin be revealed.
That man of sin is being revealed in these last days. Read on.
The son of perdition.
The son of perdition. The so-called Edomite, the so-called white man is that man of sin. Now let's jump to 17, Revelation 17 and 11.
The book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 11. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth and is of the seven.
Hey, start at 10.
Verse 10. And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
So this goes into your Edomite kingdoms. Greece, Rome, Spain, France, Germany, Russia, and Great Britain. Read that again.
And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and one is.
And one is
Rome. And the other is not yet come.
Which is what? That goes into Great Britain and America. Read on.
And when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
Read.
And the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth.
Eighth is U.S. or Babylon the Great.
And is part of the 7.
Is a part of the 7, which was Great Britain. Read.
And goeth into perdition.
Goes into perdition. Goes right back to what we just read in 2 Thessalonians. Destruction. All right, now let's go to 2 Peter 3 and 7.
The book of 2 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 7. But the heavens and the earth, which are now, by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire.
So you see that thing? They are reserved unto fire. So the judgment is already written from the beginning. The Most High already knew the end from the beginning. It's already reserved. Right now, the angels they are waiting for their orders to bring war and destruction on the earth. Some of the angels are already activated. That's why you see things popping off in the earth now. Read.
Reserved unto fire against the day of judgment.
Against the day of judgment. Read.
And perdition.
And perdition.
Of ungodly men.
Ungodly men. The wicked of the earth and those that don't keep God's laws. Now let's jump to let's play this video. Let's play this video. The Bill's Gate video.
One issue that really grabbed me as urgent were issues related to population.
In 1998, Dr. Zabin became the founding director of the Bill and Melinda Gates Institute for Population Control.
Dr. Zabin became the founding director of the Bill and Melinda Gates Institute for Population Control.
We see a lot of things that are going very well, things like reducing childhood death and First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, health care, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, health care, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The problem is that the population is growing the fastest where people are less able to deal with it. So it's in the very poorest places that you're going to have a tripling in population by 2050. And so their ability to feed, educate, provide jobs, stability, protect the environment in those locations mean they're faced with an almost impossible problem. Here we can see a chart that looks at the total world population over the last several hundred years. And at first glance, this is a bit scary. We go from less than 1 billion in 1800, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.4 billion where we are today is happening even faster. So Melinda and I wondered whether providing new medicines and keeping children alive, would that create more of a population problem?
And what the developing world does not need is more children.
And I think that was the biggest aha to Bill and me when we got into this work, is we asked ourselves, of course, the same hard-nosed question you'd ask, which is, if you get into this work and you start to save these children, will women just keep overpopulating the world? And thank goodness the converse is absolutely true.
This is a very important question to get right, because it was absolutely key for me. When our foundation first started up, it was focused on reproductive health. That was the main thing we did, because I thought, population growth in poor countries is the biggest problem they face. You've got to help mothers who want to limit family size have the tools and education to do that. And I thought that's the only thing that really counts. Is spending $1 million on that last 3 months of life for that patient, would it be better not to lay off those 10 teachers and to make that trade-off in medical costs? But that's called the death panel, and you're not supposed to have that discussion.
But that's called the death panel, and you're not supposed to have that discussion.
Behind closed doors on this New York campus, a secret gathering of some of the world's most powerful people. Gates, Buffett, Bloomberg, Winfrey. It was like the Super Friends. Together with others at the meeting, including George Soros, Ted Turner, David Rockefeller, they're worth more than $125 billion.
That much money, that much power around one table. It begs the question, what were they doing? What were they scheming? Total world domination?
This group, together for 6 hours, was talking about charity, education, emergency relief, global health, the new Superman and Wonder Woman, the super rich friends, not fighting bad guys, but fighting for good nonetheless.
Apparently, one of the things they discussed was what each of them knows about what really works and what doesn't work, so they can concentrate their resources.
An epidemic, either naturally caused or intentionally caused, is the most likely thing to cause, say, 10 million excess deaths. Today, the greatest risk of global catastrophe doesn't look like this. Instead, it looks like this.
Hey, let's get Psalms 83. Psalms 83 and start at verse 2. Read verse 2 and 3.
The book
Actually,
of Psalms,
2 through 4.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 2.
Because right now, you see that Esau don't give a damn. They'll go to other countries and proudly say that we're planning and we're going to destroy and kill off your people. Because they're not talking about the destruction of their own. Understand that. They talking about these other nations, mostly Israel. Read.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
You see that thing? This is not your friend. This is your enemy. He is your oppressor that rules over you. Read on.
They that hate thee have lifted up their head.
They are very proud. And as you can see, he proudly says it. Read.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
You see that thing? Right now, this is your people, God. They have taken much crafty counsel against you. Read.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
We are the hidden ones, because nobody knows us, the Israelites. We are the hidden ones in the earth. Read.
They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Let us cut them off. Let's assimilate them. Let's destroy their minds. Let's kill them off. Read.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Out of the 18 nations, they saying, look, we need to remove that nation. This is their plans, and this have been their plans for thousands of years. Hey, jump down to verse 6. Let's see. Matter of fact, read down to 6.
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
They all agree. So now today's topics is what? Reducing the world population. Why you think they all consent? Yeah, we're going to unleash this pandemic, which is going to reduce the world population. Now you got my man going over to India and saying, yeah, man, we don't need no more kids. No more births need to happen. It's like, wait a minute. You know, India is one of the world's largest populations. They're overcrowded. So really, he pretty much letting them know, yeah, y'all need to stop having babies. Read on.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate. All these nations are confederate against the Most High. Read on.
The tabernacles of Edom,
the chief nation, the tabernacles of Edom, also known as your so-called white man. That's why they will proudly say what their agenda is, and they don't give a damn. Read.
And the Ishmaelites.
And these are some of the wealthy princes that's over there in them oil fields. Read.
Of Moab.
Of Moab. Now, that's your Chinese. They're also wealthy in the earth. They are a major trading company in the earth. Read.
And the Hagarenes.
These are your Egyptians. So right now, hey, these other nations have always been against you. Now let's jump to Revelation 17 and 11. Revelation 17 and 11. So when we talk about the man of sin being revealed, now all the earth is seeing all of the wickedness that the man of sin, the so-called Edomite, is doing in the earth.
The book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 11. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth and is of the seven, and goeth into perdition.
Goes into destruction. Read on.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as of yet.
So that goes into your EU, the 10 common markets.
But receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
They support them.
These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast.
That's that military support that they give into the beast, Babylon the Great, you know, the United Nations. That's it right there. Hey, let's stop right there. We're going to come back. Let's go back to 2 Thessalonians 3 and 4.
The book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God.
So now who opposes the laws of God? The laws are done away with. Oh man, you are under grace. You don't have to keep God's laws. So that's an opposition of the Most High. The Most High says, even Christ himself said, in order for you to get the kingdom, you must keep God's laws. Esau says, no, all nations can be saved. Christ said himself, I only come back for the lost sheep of Israel. No, the white man says all nations can be saved. You are under grace. You don't got to keep God's laws. Read that again.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God.
So now, exalts himself, because guess what? Now they got himself set up as Caesar Bo, the white man Jesus. And now people foolishly believe that is Jesus, even after you show them Revelations 1. They still, no, that's not my Jesus.
Hey, also, when they say that, read that last precept again.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God.
We just saw that in the video. Bill Gates can determine how many people need to be on the earth. Hey, that's God's job.
And where does he come up with these numbers and figures? And what is the correlation between taking care of grandma and 10 teachers? I mean, what kind of math this dude got going on, man?
Madness. Read on.
Or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
And how he does that? By controlling the earth. Remember, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's why he controls the earth. He will tell you, no, we need to reduce world population. No, look at our financial and economic system. Right. This was created by Esau. Yep. He controls the economy. He says that your dollar is worth. How the hell are you going to dictate what another country's dollar is worth? Bruh. When they have gold valuables, but you're like, nah. Your dollar is 100 times less than my one.
And you having too many kids.
Yeah, and you got too many kids. Y'all we're going to bring in some stuff to reduce your population.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 48. Mm-hmm. And laid open the book of the law.
And here you go. And this is how he exalts himself. Read.
Wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
You see that thing? The likeness of their images. So now, what happened? If the heathen sought to paint the likeness of their images, let's look at some ancient Bibles. Let's look at the paintings. They got the white man up in there. So if the scriptures say that the heathen painted their images in the Bible, that means they wasn't white before. That's common sense. Hey, come on, let's read on.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 5. Mm-hmm. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
The war with the saints? It was given. Read that again. Read that part right there.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
It was given unto him to make war with the saints.
And to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
So now, let's just look. Who rules over the earth? Who controls or has power over all of the earth? The so-called white man. It's plain and simple.
And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him.
There you go. Caesar Bo, white man Jesus. They spread that doctrine to the four corners of the earth. Right, and it's all over.
And then the worship, you could look at who's being worshipped all over the earth by looking at the women's, the choice of the women of the whole earth, who hair color they choose. Every woman be getting blonde hair.
Yep. Who's being the oppressor.
Right. Whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world.
Let's jump. Let's jump to Isaiah 14, verse 13.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven.
This is the pride of Esau.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
That's North America. He said, this is going to be my throne. It's going to be sitting right here on the sides of the north, also known as North America. Babylon the Great. Read on.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds.
That's your going into your flying airplanes. Read on.
I will be like the Most High.
So they're so prideful. They believe they are like the Most High. They can change a boy into a girl. They can do cloning. They can do
They got their cameras and microphones everywhere.
There you go. Read on. Yep, where they can see all things and hear all things. Read on.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell.
The Most High said, I'm going to destroy you. Right now, the Most High has exalted the kingdom of Esau just like the Egyptians were exalted to become the most powerful kingdom in the earth. Read.
To the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?
You see that? Is this the man? So this is not spiritual Lucifer. This is the so-called white man.
So that wasn't God and Satan having a fist fight like Mayweather and who?
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
hey.
okay.
So let's jump to let's jump to Second Thessalonians.
The book of Second Thessalonians, chapter 2 and verse 5. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things?
Hey, you see that thing? It says, remember, I already told you these things. Because during that time, Rome, the Edomites were already at work. The borders of wickedness, the wicked kingdom was already at work. They already became the power nation, and they was conquering the dark nations. Read.
And now you know that withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time.
You see that? He, which is Esau, the mystery of iniquity. Read on.
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
Rome was already at work. Read.
Only he who now letteth will let.
Let him rule. The Most High let him rule because we transgress the laws. Read on.
Until he be taken out of the way.
Until his time is over. Read on.
And then shalt that wicked be revealed.
Then that wicked one being revealed. So in these last days, the wickedness of Esau is being revealed, even by themselves. Yeah. They reveal wickedness that they have buried for years. Read on.
Whom the Lord shall consume with his spirit, with the spirit of his mouth.
You see that thing? The Lord shall consume the nation of Esau. That's the prophecy that is going to be that's going to be their future prophecy. Read on.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
The return of Christ. Read.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
You see that thing? The Esau, his works is after the works of Satan. Why do you think he's saying, look, man, we need to reduce the world population. We don't need no more kids in the earth. We need to find ways to kill off kids. Right. How they going to kill off kids? Oh, by medicines. If we have great health care, then we can reduce the world population.
Wouldn't great health care increase the world's population?
Exactly. So guess what? They're going to have an abortion campaign. They're probably going to give you more and more. Matter of fact, don't they pay them to abort their kids?
Yeah, but
I think some type of write-off. They got to get something.
Hey, but what do babies in India got to do with you? You don't even live in India, man.
Yeah, this world, because of resources.
With all power and signs and lying wonders.
Yeah, let's go to 1 Corinthians.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1 and verse 21. For after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God. It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe.
Hey, you see that thing? In these last days, in the foolishness of preaching, that's how you're going to be saved. The prophets, we out there on the corners preaching the truth to the Israelites.
All right, Clubhouse, Facebook, YouTube.
And with all this tribulation, you're going to seek the Most High's face. You're going to seek for answers. And the prophet's going to be out there to give you those answers in these last days. Why? Because guess what? The wicked is being revealed. All of the information that's come out in these last couple of days, it wasn't revealed maybe 50 years ago. That wasn't out there. Now, today, you see the more and more wickedness is surfacing of all of the evils that Esau has done over the last couple of centuries. Yeah, let's jump. Let's get that. Read on, bro. Read on.
The book of
Thessalonians.
The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2 and verse 10. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
You see that thing? The love of the truth, that they might be saved. Meaning they don't believe these truths. They don't understand it. They're like, nah, we don't got to keep God's laws. I'm under grace. Read.
And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion.
See that thing? A strong delusion. Read.
That they shall believe a lie.
That you shall believe a lie. You shall believe that all nations can be saved.
Joe Biden going to save me.
Joe Biden's going to save me. He's going to save me in these last days. Believe in all lies. Remember, the mystery of iniquity, meaning what? Sin. The man of Babylon will speak much lies. And you, the Most High, is going to send you that spirit where you believe all of that lies because you don't want to keep the laws of God. Read on.
That they all might be damned.
You see that? You're damned. Read on.
Who believed not the truth.
That you believe not the truth. You believe that, well, not my Jesus. I don't believe in you. That's your own understanding. You think that you got to keep God. No, I don't believe that. That's not my Jesus. We'll see. Oh, yeah? Read on.
But had pleasure in unrighteousness.
All pleasure in unrighteousness, meaning what? They believe they have the right to abort their children. They believe they have the right to be do what they want to do. They can have frivolous sex. They can be feel like you're a boy, but you want to be a girl. They believe, oh, we're all under grace as long as you believe in Jesus.
Verse 15. Therefore, brethren, stand fast and hold their traditions which you have been taught, whether by word or our epistle.
All right, that's the standard.
Yep.
That is the standard that we raising up right here. Verse 15 summed it all up. With that, family, we say shalom.
Shalom. Shalom. Most High Christ bless.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. Iuic has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. Iuic, we deliver the truth.